Hey guys, welcome to one of our body weight at home exercises or protocols that you can do. We've purposely designed this so you can literally have no equipment and do it at home. And maybe this is a great opportunity to really utilize some time at home if you work from home to get some great results. So we've programmed this particular one into what we call a 3-stage. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 3 with 0 seconds, so i.e. no rest, in between the first exercise, second exercise, and then you're going to get 60 seconds off after you finish the third exercise. How we would do it in sets is week 1. It depends how deconditioned you are, of course, but you'd probably start at least 1, if not 2 sets. So you'd go A1, A2, and A3, and I'll show you all those exercises obviously. And then you're going to come back and then you're going to do it again, and that we would count that as 2 rounds, so 2 sets. You could easily build up on weeks 1, 2, and 3 to 4 sets. So if you start off on week 1 on 2 sets, you'd go to week 3 on 3 and then 4. If you start the first week on week 1 and you're pretty sore, you may choose to go week 2 and then week 3 and then week 4. We suggest that you change protocols. This is a one-off. We're not necessarily putting this with a bundle, so you have the opportunity to buy other workouts for us. But this is a one-off workout that you could probably do twice per week. If you're doing more than twice, we would suggest you actually combine it with one of our other body weight online protocols that we have. Let me take you through this. This is a pretty fast pace, and it really is designed from a body composition, i.e. fat loss workout. We put some thoracic mobility in there because if you're working from home, you probably work too much. You're probably standing in front of a computer as well. Let me get into it for you guys. First one, we're going to start off, and I've got this because we're actually going to use one of the towels throughout. I always use a towel, but we've also got these sliders. And now, these are actually furniture sliders that you can buy from any hardware store. We're going to use them because I'm demonstrating this to you on carpet, but all you need is socks on either a wooden or a vinyl floor. So you may have to shoot away and do some of these exercises in your bathroom. Hopefully not. Your kitchen will be fine. But yeah, just know that we're using these, but we would suspect you just take your shoes off, use your socks, and you're good to go. We're going to start off with an A1, A2, and A3 with an alternating lunge first. I know it looks pretty simple. We're going to do 30 alternating lunges. And I'm not going to do all 3 sets with you because that would be pain for you to watch me do it. But here's the thing about an alternating lunge. Obviously alternating, I'm going left, then I'm going right, then I'm going left. What we see most people do is when they step out, they then go straight down, then they go straight up, and then they get back. And the hip extension, the work through my glutes to get from here to here is nothing. However, if you come down and then from this position, I get back, so it's not up and back, it's straight back, it's a massive difference in terms of muscle recruitment and muscle usage that you're doing. The other thing as well, you'll notice my knee comes forward. That's absolutely fine, and that's what we want, but we want the foot to stay flat. I don't want, hopefully you can see that in the camera, I don't want the heel to lift. So just like you standing normally now, you feel the weight distribution on your foot, it still should be the same on that front foot, even when I step down and step back. The other thing about it as well is let's slow it down. So 2, 1, push back for 1 second. Down, 2, 1, push back. 2, 1, push back. We're going to do 30 of those. So once you've done 15 on each side, we're going to do our prone, 90 degrees. Now different muscles in your back you can hit when your arms at different angles. So if you're out at 90 degrees, which we're going to do today, is different to a 45 degrees. So throughout these body composition, body weight protocols, we make sure we hit all the angles through the back. But we're going to hold 90 degrees. If I'm weak where I need to be, what I will do is I'll tend to tuck my elbows down. I don't want that. This is a rhomboid exercise. So I'm coming up and hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What we find is it's all about the lower back. People come up with their lower back, but there's not much happening in the upper back. I actually want to change that. This is an upper back exercise. So I don't actually mind if you don't lift your torso off the ground at all. I can actually stay pretty relaxed in my lower back, but I really hit my shoulders off. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and I'm constantly pulling my elbows up. 2, 1. That's very different to doing this but not much with my shoulders, right? And that's all my lower back, whereas this is all my upper back. So I would almost cue it that your chest stays down and up here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back down. 6 seconds per exercise. You do it 10 times. Now remember the structure. You're going to do 30 alternating lunges with a 2-second down, so you have control, right? You don't just flop into it. You come down with control, drive back, then you go straight into here, 10 reps, 6 seconds a rep, and it's really trying to get this back as much as possible. And it's great doing bodyweight stuff when you can use gravity as the force, right? That's brilliant. Then you're going to go into air squats. Now air squats are just bodyweight squats, but the thing about this is my heart rate's already going already, but it's fast. This is not a controlled thing. We want the heart rate to be elevated, because don't forget you get 60 seconds rest after this. So this is just simply straight. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you can't deep squat, or you're kind of through here, we much prefer you to find something. This could even be a book. I don't think you have Reebok step risers at home. Even put your heel up on a book or a ledge, and if that allows you to get deeper, perfect. But you've got to do 30 as quick as humanly possible. Look at the clock, take 60 seconds off. That's your first round. So you've got A1, A2, and A3. And as you can see, you're going to need a drink, you're going to need to have a rest. But in terms of results, look up those cues. You've got this obviously to refer back to, but stick to the rest, which is 0, 0, 60. That's actually a massive part of this. As I said, week 1, either 1 or 2 rounds. Week 2 and week 3, we progress it every single week. What's awesome is if on week 3 you were doing something that you couldn't do on week 1, that's what this is all about. So well done. After that, you're going to move to the kitchen, or maybe you're doing this on the kitchen, but you're going to be doing somewhere your shoes are going to come off. We're going to be using our furniture sliders. It's amazing, when I saw these, I thought they would be really expensive fitness equipment, and then I love it when things are available at a local Mitre 10 or a Bunnings. We have got a Shelk. Now, SHELC is actually an acronym for Swiss ball hip extension with leg curl. Now, we don't have a Swiss ball, so we're going to modify this, right? But it's basically a hip extension, the HE with a leg curl. Let me show you what I mean. So, through here, I'm going to come down so that sliders won't hit that mat. Now, there's a difference here. As I pull in, my goal is to lift my hips. So, I cue my client so you have a straight angle through here, and I'm lifting my hips as I curl in. See, at no point do I break. So it's not, even if I go 1 and then lift, see how I've already broken through here, and then it's a late, then I need to worry about, no, that's not it. It's lifting your hips up as you curl in, and then down slow. Cool. Now, a cool thing about this is if you're at home, if it's too hard, I don't want to suggest your floor is dirty, but if you actually clean it just before you do it, it'll change how slippy it is. So maybe that's something to think about as well. We can play with as much change in the tension as we can. Or fluffier socks, hey, we can do anything. So, coming out here, lifting up, and then 3, this has to be slow on the way down. 3, 2, 1. You do up to 15 of those. That is incredibly tough. Now, remember, no rest into the B2. Pretty simple stuff though, we're going a straight push-up. Now I say pretty simple stuff because it's an easy concept as an exercise, but geez, people get it wrong. And what I really want to talk to you about is how do we modify it so you can get a great benefit from it. In terms of a push-up, most of the time, people are not strong enough through the core and through the chest. So what will happen is and I'm going to go actually sideways so you guys can see this way. But you'll see their lower back start to give in and they go here, or they lift up. See how I'm lifting up on my hips, haven't lifted off the ground yet? Or their head somehow comes forward, really forward, and they think they're at the ground, but actually they're still quite a long way away. If you're strong enough to keep your head up and have your chest hit the floor and then come back up, I'll take it. Perfect. If that's too easy, you can elevate your feet. However, if it's too hard, I would much prefer you to We actually haven't got anything to show you, but if I had an elevation here, I could elevate. This could be 2 chairs, 2 dining room chairs would be perfect. If you've got a staircase going up, go to the first step, second step, third step, so you can really progress it until such time as you maintain that integrity. So even if I elevate a little bit, I take the pressure off, chest down, up, but at no point am I braking or my head's dropping forward. That's not what I want, cool? So it doesn't really matter how high you lift up or the modification, because you're modifying it to a point where your upper body gets a pretty good workout, your arms as well, arms, shoulders, chest and all of that. 15 reps. Remember, from the shelf where you lifted your hips up, there is no rest into the push-ups. Then we're just doing a leg curl, so you're back here. So we're keeping it pretty simple. You don't have to move too far, and your hips are staying low. Now see the difference, how easy this is. Straight in, straight out. Now, of course, that's easier than the first exercise, but you're fatigued. It's the third time, it's the third one in a row, so of course you're going to be more tired, which is why we've laid this the way we have. But that's 30, and I'm going to say 30, but it depends where you're at with your strength, but it's fast. Just like the air squats was 30, bang, bang. This I want real quick. 1, 2, 3, whereas the shalks, remember, I asked for a nice slow 3, 2, 1 tempo on the way back down. So it's controlled, and then normally that exercise we're making a little bit punchy. All right. If you're not kind of sweaty by now, to be honest, you're a machine, or you're doing it wrong. So really move fast, bang, 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 look at the clock, take 60 seconds off, and then go back into it. Now, we're going to work on, normally by now your heart rate is a little high. If I definitely give my clients a longer rest between the A's, the B's and the C's. So let's say you've just done that twice and you're going to move on. If you need it, grab a drink, whatever. But really the transitions here don't take too long because there's no equipment and you're at home, right? I love this next exercise. Thoracic mobility is something we don't have enough of. We really sit in front of a computer. So yeah, I know we're giving you some heart ratey stuff, but to add this into the mix, I think is perfect. All we're going to do is my hand, right hand here, the outside of the palm is going to go on the my cheek, and all we do is we try to look up at the ceiling and point. Well, in fact, let me go the other way for the camera, but if my hand's here, I'm going to lift up and I really twist, and I'm going to try to get this elbow to the roof. Now, I'm definitely not known to having the most thoracic mobility, and then I'm switch up, and I'm going to rotate, What's interesting though, is I feel I have less going that way than I do this way. So when you start to pick up little things like that, it's really you start to notice those things. So maybe I need to work more and really push when I go to the right. That is your thoracic mobility head rotation. Then heart rate's got low again, right? We've done that stuff. We've worked on our mobility. So we're going to go straight to burpees. Burpees, many, many different ways of doing it. We have a rule here at Studio 41. As long as your feet leave the ground at the top, I'm happy. There's not a push-up involved. You've got to lie flat though. So all you're doing is really, because there's different people doing this, you've just got to get down. So if it's getting down for you is here, and then lying here, and then getting back up, boom, and that's your burpee, perfect. Or it's straight down, up, bang, and then straight back down, you're good. But see how I left the ground here, and I had to lay down. It's not a push-up, some people aren't strong enough, plus you've also done push-ups already, so we don't need them. Cool, just get down flat, lie flat, jump back up, leave the feet, leave the ground, and go again. You're going to do 15 of those. And then straight into sit-ups. This is a brutally pretty hard workout, guys. Straight sit-ups. Nothing really to comment on this. It's pretty hard to stuff up. I'm not a fan of locking the feet down because then the hips move, different muscles are working. But really from here, all I'm doing, up. Now, is it wrong to throw my hands out? Well, no, I'm just changing the center of gravity. So if I put my hands here, there's more weight here, I will actually get up easier than if I have my hands here. So it's just, there's no right or wrong, it's just more weight. So the harder you want to make it, the more your hands will be behind you. That was almost too hard for me because I had to lift my feet to get there. Cool? But this is not wrong if you want to do this. Now, what is a cheat though, is don't pull yourself up. You can't do this, pull yourself up, that's not a sit-up. But where your hands are is just really an idea of progression. So, we got the thoracic mobility. Remember, after those sit-ups, you're going to give yourself 60 seconds. You got your thoracic mobility, working on either side. Take your time on this, you know, you've got time. This is not about body composition, this is just about mobility, but then you're going to go straight into the burpees and then straight into sit-ups. And that is our 3-stage. You can see how clearly it's called a 3-stage. A1, A2, A3, then the Bs, bang, 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 and then the Cs, bang, bang, bang. And if you get through that, I think that's a fantastic workout that you can do at your home with no equipment.